This is a freeze brand for a man in Wyoming. He'll probably use it on horses. The freeze brand doesn't make a scar like a hot iron does. It merely kills the hair follicles. They use either dry ice or liquid nitrogen and alcohol on the animal, and when they apply this iron, it makes the hair follicles die and the hair comes in white. And it's usually not as painful and doesn't scar the hide as the hot branding iron does. This is an iron that was made in the 50s by a blacksmith in Nevada City, California, and I used it probably until mid-90s, and it's branded literally thousands of head of cattle. Now, this is a hot iron, and it has worn away from the scale and the heat until it's very sharp, and as such is no longer usable because it cuts, and that's not something you want to do. Okay, our purpose this morning, we're going to pour a freeze brand. We're going to use brass. Copper conducts the cold a little better, but copper is very expensive. Now, we're going to put this brass in a cold crucible. The brass is cold, everything's cold, and we're going to put it into the forge. Now, one thing you need to be very careful of, this can all go into the forge when it's cold, but the humidity is such here that if you put anything that's out in this air into a hot melt, the steam immediately turns, or the water vapor turns to steam, and it explodes and it scatters molten material all over, no matter what you're doing. Even if you're doing a low melt like aluminum or lead, the water will splatter it all over. So everything goes into the forge cold. It comes up to heat, dissipates the water, and you're cool, you're safe. If you put anything in there after it's melted, it needs to be in the fire long enough to turn basically red and get all the moisture off it. It's amazing how little it takes to create an explosion. This is the pattern we'll be using today. It's made out of a soft wood and painted. It's got negative draft so that you can pull it out of the sand mold. We're going to be using a Petrobond sand today, which is a oil chemical mixed with the sand instead of the green sand.
Okay, he's going to turn that over to try to drop the crumbs out of there without losing his whole investment. Did it.
I put flux in with it. It kind of cleans the material and brings the impurities to the surface so I can skim them off so they don't end up in the floor.
How'd we do, Si? Tell us how we did.
It could have been just a little bit hotter, but I think it's fine. This is cooled down now enough that it's solid. We're going to pull it out of the vestment, take it over to the slack tub. Finished iron, and it turned out very, very well. Well, I don't really know what it is. It's something bar K, and it's King Enterprises. I've started using this Dremel tool for a center punch.
Hold it still.
I can get it where I want it. I can see what I'm doing. Makes an excellent center punch. Tap. I like to get a really good thread in them, and then we'll go make a rod for it. Had this handle since I was in high school.
Really? Done, Si? So that's bar K, and what's the other one's name?
I think it's another bar K.
Another bar K. 2 iterations. Let's see, hold them up side by side again. Bar K short stout, bar K basketball player style. And that's how you make a freeze brand, boys and girls.
This is my 3-phase converter. It's not quite as handy as your dad's. But it didn't cost anything.